can get some friends connected and up online before we get started here. There we go. We've got good signal to Twitch. Welcome back to the stream. I've been calling this Fritz and Friends. My name is Jeff Fritz, and we're going to do some live coding today. Of course, that's what we always do, live coding. Here from my wonderful office. And we're going to be working on some .NET Core. We're going to be doing some Docker. Let's take a look. We've got a bunch of new followers over here on Twitch. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Over here in the chat room. First, welcome back in, Chris. Wintermute, good morning. And Check Digits. Good to see a bunch of you here. Let me check in with Mixer real quick. On my extra screen over here. I like to keep tabs on things. And of course, as soon as I navigate to Mixer, it doesn't give me an option. What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do tomorrow? I don't know. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow, we're not going to be live streaming. That's what we're going to be doing. Let's see. Ugh. Let me tell you, I'm not a fan of some of the Mixer dashboards. Because if you're not on Chrome, it just does not work. Oh my goodness. Try and take over the world. That's a great idea. We should do that tomorrow. Alright, let's take a look. I am going to start like I do most days. We're going to start over here in my GitHub. Let's switch over to the full view. Alright, I think we just dated ourselves. No, you didn't. We're doing just fine there. I'm just realizing, gosh, I've got a bunch of organizations here. Could I belong to any more organizations? NuGet and a bunch of Microsoft stuff here. .NET Foundation, this, that, and the other. ASP Insiders. Build 2016, when we had an organization for that. Oh, yeah, that one. All right. So, no talking about age in chat. Okay. Hey, good morning, Joe Bun. Thanks for joining us. So, it's the viewer count from stream labels up there isn't quite updating. There we go, Mesh7S. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. And we've already got some of my labels. And Parks Evol, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. And Steve, thanks for that reminder. We've made some changes in the user interface of the stream here. So the follower goal bar up at the top, that is now coming out of a Docker container running here on my production machine. And it's being generated by an ASP.NET Core app. And the followers count in the top corner there, that's being generated by that same application. And we should actually see the bar. Will we see the bar update? I forget if we wrote that into the bar feature. I will never not laugh at Balmer going insane. Yeah. Steve. Steve. I'm going to take a quick look, see if we have any new questions that we want to address over here. Anything that we want to get through. So Vortex, I think we're going to need to do a little bit more, a little bit closer discussion on this one. So we're going to come back to that one in a bit. I need to add a live events page somewhere so that folks know when and where I'm going to be at events. Gosh, you know what? Let's do that right now here in the wiki. Let's do that. Adding a wiki page. So I've already allocated a wiki. Welcome to it. So let's create a new page here. Live events. Jeff is speaking at soon. All right. So where am I going? These are the upcoming events that I will be speaking at. Fade Routh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. How do we know if potential questions are on topic or not? Throw the question out there. We'll figure it out. We'll triage it together and decide. No big deal. But if you ask me a question like, what do I think of Trump? I'm not going to answer that one. I'm going to avoid politics. And of course, you've probably seen on both the Twitch and Mixer feeds, this is a family-friendly, safe-for-work stream. So no cussing, no adult topics, if you will. So just to make sure that, nobody gets into trouble watching at work. I don't get into trouble with my bosses talking about doing anything here. Technical question, of course. Go ahead, throw it out there, and we'll triage and figure out. No big worry about that. Everything is game. These are the upcoming events that I will be speaking at. I will be at. So for Microsoft colleagues, I will be at our Microsoft Ready Seattle event. That is January 29 to February 2, I think it is. For MVPs, I will be at the Microsoft MVP Summit. Of course, I'm the MC for the Visual Studio and DevTools track. That is March 5 through March 9. Public events, I will be at DevIntersection Orlando. And I know this one. That is March 25 to March 29. That's at the Walt Disney World Swan. That's going to be a really cool event. Not Europe. This one. There we go. 25 through 28. And I'll be giving a workshop there as well. So let's copy and paste that one in here. Oh, that feels bad. That feels bad. Oh, wait. Square brackets first, right? And then the round brackets? Do I have my markdown correct? Is that how that works? Preview. Nope. Did it backwards. What is the best way to integrate an NSIS installer script into VSTS CI/CD? Wow. Okay. Full disclosure, I am not a VSTS person. And NSIS. Can you help me out with the acronym there? NSIS. Why isn't that turning into a link? I'm gonna just delete and let. I wanna link. Nope, not gonna let me do it. DevIntersection Orlando. Okay. Yeah. Didn't I have it that way? Ugh. All right, March 25 through 29. Chris, when is the Philly.net user group in January? So that's my local user group. That is, you need the label first. Yeah, that's what I needed. I updated my live stream issue. Maybe that explains what I am asking and if I am asking a question that matters. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Nullsoft scriptable installer system. I'm not familiar with that. But what is the best way? I'm not doing the hands-on lab at Philly.net. What is it? Philly.net meetup. This is, here we go. January 3rd is React Redux. No, it's the one after that I'm doing. There's another meetup here listed, right? They didn't post the regular meetup. Tony told me that he posted that. Yeah, and this is really old. But I want to say it's like 2 weeks after this is the one that I'm speaking at, which would be, I believe it's is it the 17th or no? It's the 24th, I believe it is. I'm gonna go with that. January 24, and the topic there is .NET updates for 2018. There we go. DevIntersection. I'm actually speaking .NET framework updates Tips and Tricks, I think it's called. And I have Visual Studio Web Tools. All right, let's save that. And then Steve Fabian was on here asking if I can speak in Northern New Jersey. We'll get that on the schedule here as soon as we have that planned. So there's a list of a couple of the events that I know I'm speaking at soon. I mean, heck, if I really wanted to here, Microsoft Ready Las Vegas, and that is July something. Microsoft Build NDA. And I will be at Ignite. They do have a date for that one, even though I don't even have content yet. So, who's this? DJ Vortex, welcome back. So, 2018 is Ignite 2018. There is a date here somewhere, along with like a really early registration. But I will be at this one also. It's kind of part of my job. And it's back in Orlando, and we love Orlando. I don't see the date on this one. Did they take it down? Is it under pricing? Oh, or pre-register, I bet it's over there. Sign up for 2018 updates. I thought there was a date. There we go. September 24 to 28. So we'll put that in here. Yuck. And that should be 2018. That is in Orlando, Florida. All right. Good enough. There, now we've got some live events that I'll be at soon. I'm going to close out that issue. Done on Wiki. Cool. Goodbye. All right, and Chris had a question over here that I want to make sure we look at. While I'm bringing that up, of course, we're listening to, what's it called? Music to Code By. This is the Purple. This song is called Purple, right? Yeah, Purple. It was released in 2015, and it's on the Chapter 2 album, but I think he only sells them in one big bundle right now. Today's hat is actually, this is Line-Sided Charters in Tampa. It's a charter fishing company that my brother-in-law started. My daughter has been urging me, you gotta wear Uncle Justin's hat. So Captain Justin Santillo in Tampa, Florida with Line-Sided Charters. So you won't see me doing too many sponsored hats here, but it's my brother-in-law. I gotta put a thing up here for my brother-in-law. Here's Chris's question about .NET Standard 2.0 library on older .NET frameworks, even if that API is in that framework. So when I first looked at this question, it looked a little bit confusing, but let's see if we can answer Chris's question before we dig into today's project. And I am going to take an issue here real quick. Follower goal does not automatically update. All right. So Chris's question is, how does it work if an API is supported in .NET Framework, but that framework does not support the standard containing that API? So he's in particular looking at WebSocket. It is in .NET Standard 2.0, and it's supported as far back as .NET Framework 4.5. How would you go about using a .NET Standard 2.0 library that used WebSocket but consumed that from a .NET Framework that has the API but doesn't yet implement .NET Standard 2? Okay, so Chris is actually referring to, let's see if I can find this. .NET Standard, there it is, the versions doc. So Chris is looking at this wonderful chart, and we love charts, right? As developers, we all love charts. And the question is, he's trying to use something here on .NET Framework. He's trying to use .NET Framework 4.5. Let's get rid of some of these. So he's on .NET Framework 4.5. He wants to use WebSocket, right? And WebSocket, if we look up here in 2.0, oh gosh, this is the working backwards. Where is that document? 1 second. There is. If Glenn was here, I'd be able to say, hey, where does it? We had a Chris has a cleaner comment at the bottom of the issue. Okay, so he's looking at the WebSockets API. It's part of .NET Framework, starting in 4.5.1, but 4.5.1 only implements Net Standard 1.2. It's not implemented in Net Standard until 2.0. I used a library, like Mixer library perhaps, that targeted Net Standard 2.0. Could it be consumed in a .NET Framework 4.5.1 app? Does the tooling get in your way? Do you have to ignore, suppress warnings? Am I missing anything? Does it just work? Good question. Docs, Microsoft.com, blah, 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 blah. Right. So a couple things about this chart before I get into the question. This chart is a little bit loose and fast. So there's things over here where if you're using .NET Framework 4.5, okay, really 1.0 version of .NET Standard is really the version you're looking at there. But if you're using .NET Framework 4.6.1, you can use any of these versions of .NET Standard and consume libraries that use those versions without penalty, I guess I'll say. It'll just work, okay? Because these versions are like onion rings, okay? When you get out to 2.0, it actually, 2.0 has all the interfaces of 1.6, 1.5, 1.4, etc. going in. So if you are using 4.6.1, it is compatible with all these other versions. And it's also going forward. These are minimum versions that support that version of .NET Standard. So if I'm using the latest version of .NET Framework 4.7.1, and you wanted to consume .NET Standard 1.4, let's say, well, 4.7.1 is greater than 4.6.1, you can use 1.4. So for .NET Framework, you have this forward-backward compatibility. Now what Chris is trying to do is he wants to use WebSockets, right? And let me bring up that page on Docs, Microsoft. And specifically, you were looking at Web Client Socket. Client WebSocket. See, I don't like how the search result gives me all these things, right? Immediately, it puts me out somewhere over here. Come on now. Right? That's WebSocket channel. I just want client WebSocket. No. Feels bad, man. .NET. Client WebSocket. And now look, it's put me into tracing. It's not what I want. Yeah, I know, you've got the link there, but it's more fun to actually do the search and show that this isn't going exactly where you think it would be. And in fact, look, it doesn't find it in 4.7. So you're looking for web... I'm just going to search for system... Let's look for WebSockets. Okay, SystemNet WebSockets namespace. Right? Client WebSocket. Now, why couldn't I find that? Why didn't it navigate to this? Right? So you started with the API browser. Now, that's interesting. Let's go over there. Let's open that. And if I search for, right, Client WebSocket, now it finds it there. Feels bad. Now, you can see here the versions that it's supported in. Actually goes all the way back to 4.5. If you look at the .NET standards, actually it looks like it's supported in all of them, Chris. Petition to have Mr. Fritz be a voice actor for video games. Funny you should mention that, Wintermute. I've actually auditioned to be a voice actor for video games. And I was turned down once or twice. I have been accepted, and I've done a number of voice menuing systems for businesses, and I'm more than happy for that. Scroll down in this doc. Yeah. There we go. Applies to .NET Core 1.0, 1.1.2.0, .NET Standard 2.0. Now that's weird. Here's why it's weird. Because .NET Framework 4.5, 4.5.1 from the versions table clearly is in .NET Standard. And so is .NET Core. But it's, even though the API was in those, .NET Standard 1.0 doesn't implement those. Try clicking on Net Standard 1.2 there. Let me, this one. Net Standard 1.2. And the APIs. Come on, I'm trying to search here. Client, web, it's not here. So it's not in this. Oh, in the API doc. Let's go over to the API doc. And if I try and look at Net Standard 1.2, page requested is not available for Net Standard 1.2. You've been redirected to the closest available version. Well, that's nice. Okay, at least it throws a nice error there. It'd be nice if there was, of course it would be nice, but I think we need to drop some messages to our friends over on the docs team. See if we can get a little bit of feedback, a little bit of help on this. On some of the issue here with searching the doc and it not actually finding, right, what we're looking for up here. That feels bad. All right, so Chris continues to ask, I was just imagining being a good citizen and implementing a mixer library that targeted .NET Standard 2.0. Okay, that's cool. What would I be doing to consumers with .NET Core 1.0? Right, folks using .NET Core 1.0 wouldn't be able to consume, right? They would, the tooling would get in their way. They wouldn't be able to access that if you were trying to build something that targeted .NET Standard 2.0 and they were using one of these older versions of these frameworks, including .NET Core 1.0. I would suggest, unless you absolutely need 2.0, if you want to support .NET Core 1.0, try and use 1.6. 2.0 is great. A lot of capabilities to do the backward, the Windows compatibility shims to the older versions of .NET Framework. But you're going to hit a wider selection of frameworks if you can target 1.6 with the framework. But that mixer service would use WebSockets. Explain. If you're building a service, if you're building a client to attach to a service, I have an idea. So if you're building your stubborn question, so you want to make sure that you support folks who are back here in .NET Framework 4.5. Someone can just pick up your library and start talking to Mixer, right? So you want to go back as far as possible. And that client WebSocket class, right, it only works in .NET Standard 2.0 if you want to be able to support all those different things. You could build this as a portable class library that targets not just .NET Standard, but also those other frameworks, and do that cross-compile. It's a little bit older way to do things. It's a little bit crazier. But you could set up project. There you go. Set up a portable class library project that targets 4.5 and 1.0. Since the API is in both of those, you should be able to use those. And then set up the .NET Standard project and add linked classes into the other one. So let's just mock that up real quick. See what that looks like. so that everybody kind of knows where I'm going here, because this is a little bit crazy, and this is actually what our friend James Newton King does a bit of. If I want to create, I want to create a .NET Standard class library, and let's call this. I'm going to call this Space Shot Mixer. How's that? Is that a good name, Chris? I know, PCL. It's a necessary artifact as long as you do want to support those older libraries. So we'll call this Space Shot Mixer. We'll call the project Standard, and the solution, we'll get rid of this. Sure, create a Git repository. I don't care. We'll end up putting this into the samples. But this is a little bit of what James does. So let's take a look-see here. So I've got a simple class here above me that I can start loading in with, I believe it should have defaulted to .NET Standard 2.0. Net Standard 2.0. And what you can do then is add another project. And I want this to be Windows Classic, and I'm going to choose, where's Portable Class Library? Not that one. Legacy Portable, there it is. And if we call this Space Shot Mixer Portable, and I get this cool dialog, right? And we want to be able to support, you were saying 4.5, 4.5.1, and makes it incompatible with Visual Studio 2010. That's okay. All right, 2010 is far back enough that I think you're safe there. So now I've got my portable class library and I've got my standard class library. I'm actually going to kill those. And I can just get rid of this class over here. And this, we'll call this my mixer client. And you're referencing client WebSocket. So let's create public static object get socket. I don't know. I'm just mocking this up, right? Return client web socket. Return new, right? And I'm going to control dot on that. No. Come on now. I think some of the frameworks in .NET Standard Chart are actually out of support, but not positive. You are correct. Some of them are out of support. Client WebSocket was in which one here? SystemNet. So I am in the portable. I should be able to get SystemNet here, right? One assemblies framework. System.net. Ugh. Oof. Gosh. How do I want to do this? I was going for all .NET Standard targeted libs just to the yeah, you want to be stubborn, all right. I think I might have gone back just a bit too far with this. Let me change this and make it right. What version did it first appear in here? No, it was in .NET Framework 4.5. All right. So why? Right, I should be able to go into Solutions Explorer here and add a reference. All the framework assemblies are already referenced. Please use Object Browser to explore the references. Okay. No. Where's Object Browser? Right, system.net. Edit searching. WebSockets, good. Client WebSocket. Now, why isn't it SystemNet Web? Right, SystemNet WebSocket. Client WebSocket. Nope, doesn't find it. SystemNet WebSockets. Ah, my bad. Right. There we go. See, now it's going to be grouchy about this right here. I don't want to generate that. It knows what that is. But see now, right, this is some of the oddity around this. You're surprised how many of us have never done what I'm doing now. Cool. Okay. Let me rename my... see, look at this. It won't let me rename the file either. Ah, there we go. All right. But it's still grumpy about this. Does not exist in namespace system.net. Yes, it does. It says so right here. SystemNet WebSockets. Look. Here's what I'm going to do, .net. I'm going to copy that. Paste it right there. No, still doesn't like it. Feels bad, man. So it doesn't see it here. This is pretty great. Me gusta. Yes, this is C#. Who is that? Angus Miguel. Yes. But for some reason, it doesn't see System Client WebSockets, even though this is in .NET Core 1.0 and .NET Framework 4.5. It doesn't see it inside my portable class library here. So let's change this a little bit, and I'm going to bump this just to 4.6, and let's see what happens. See if it changes. You're right. You're absolutely right, Wintermute. I'm going to just bump up my version just a little bit and see if I can get the tooling to behave a little bit nicer for me. So let's see if I control dot here, and it's still SystemNet sockets. Nope, it's not there. But WebSockets is not. Okay, so here's where some of the APIs between the different frameworks don't quite line up. Would it be different if I added a NuGet reference to System.net? Well, System.net comes with the .NET Framework. So by referencing .NET Framework with my portable class library, I automatically have a reference to all of those things. So I don't need to add a NuGet reference to System.net. System.net as a NuGet reference is a .NET Core artifact. So we don't need to do that. But sockets is there, and then it's not available right now. This is getting kind of crazy. Portable with Core 1. Didn't Core 1 take out some APIs that were later added in the current .NET Core? You're right. Junicus? Is that how you pronounce it? But this, according to the documentation, is in .NET Core 1.0. So should be there. So I'm gonna actually how should we do this? Let's move things around a little bit. Now, there are ways to do the if-def, right? If-def, and then actually specify the .NET Framework version and pivot and create objects based on the .NET Framework version or .NET Core version, and get that to load properly. A bottle of pills, social, MSD at Microsoft.com, forums, blah, blah, blah. Namespace SystemNet sockets missing. Ooh, look at that. Now here's my problem there, a bottle of pills. That's, I can't click into that. Let's see if I'm going to open a connection here to, not to Pandora. I'm going to open a connection to my own channel here on Twitch so I can grab that out of the chat room. Let's see if I can grab it real quick. Because I typically have those things over. And good morning, a bottle. This sounds weird talking to some of you by your handles there. Good morning, a bottle of pills. That makes me sound like I'm an addict or something. I don't know. I get it. I do. Where else am I streaming to? I also stream to Mixer. That was a personal request from some of the higher ups, way higher ups at Microsoft requested that. Yeah, I can't. Can you repost that link, a bottle of pills, in the chat room, and we'll grab that and take a look at that message. But it's a good question. The SystemNet client. There we go. So I'll open this. Namespace SystemNet sockets missing. I'm using C# Express. Could you check the objects in System DLL? Check whether SystemNet sockets is in it. blah, blah, blah. I found out what the problem is. I need to make a reference to systemdll on its own. Now, that should be done for us inside of this portable class library. But the question here, to answer Chris's question, you're going to need to set up two different compiles here. So you have one NuGet package, and it grabs either the old style PCL for those older framework versions you'd like to support, or you want to do things in .NET Standard to support the new frameworks going forward. Duncan Kruger, hi, is Mixer developed by Microsoft solely or just heavily involved? Mixer was previously called Beam, and it's a company Microsoft bought, and they're developing. There's great integration with Windows 10. There's great integration with Xbox, so that actually in Windows 10 you can do Windows key G, and it'll start a screen recording, or you can start streaming to Mixer directly. However, if you want to have all the gadgets and widgets around it and things like the webcam on it, you're going to have to do a little bit more to get it running. But just to stream and listen to your microphone, you can do Windows G and get that kicked off. Been heavily integrated, still mostly a separate team, and in fact, you'll probably hear some of the higher-ups and see us pushing a little bit more content over onto Mixer. From Chris, ask so politely those higher-ups to promote dev stream announcements so people know we are doing this stuff. Stay tuned, Chris. Stay tuned. In fact, I might be expecting a little bit of that coming in the next little bit here, based on some of the emails that I've seen. So stay tuned. But this is the way that I would do that, right? I'm not going to return an object here. I don't want to deal with this sockets. There's clearly something not quite lined up right between these different versions. But let's do something like, oh my gosh, what happened here? All of a sudden my machine is dragging over here. Quick, close Chrome, close Chrome. Visual Studio just is taking a powder here on this machine. Come here. And Task Manager? Is it running off and doing something silly like Windows Update? No, it's Firefox. So here's the thing with Firefox. Anyone else seeing video lag? Yeah, I think there is a little bit of video lag. I am publishing and pushing out at a good rate here, and I'm seeing a good bit rate going over to Twitch. Let me see what Restream has here for me. Nope, Restream looks like it's streaming well. Let me finish what I was talking about over here, and I'm actually going to shut down some of Firefox. Firefox is a great browser, but it starts eating processor quickly. Yeah, the memory difference between Firefox and Visual Studio. Look at this. Firefox is a browser, and it uses more memory and more processor than Visual Studio. Let that one soak in for a second. Good call, Wintermute. Good call. That's a thing somebody should talk about. In fact, you know who's going to talk about it? Me. Look at the difference in processor and memory utilization between Firefox and Visual Studio. Is that a browser consuming my entire system? And where'd that go? Here. And we will snip. Yep. There we go. Sure. Add images. All right, have fun retweeting that one. There you go. So, to finish, right, if I was doing something over here, return some new object, I don't care what it is, to finish Chris's question, easy for me to say, right, if I was returning some new object over here and I wanted to use that same feature over here in my .NET Standard project, what I would do is I would add an existing item and I would go up, reference the portable, and then pull this down and say add as link. And then I would throw some if-defs around this as necessary. And the if-def will allow you to pivot based on the framework version that you're using, right? So then you end up with one code base, right? That's for C++. Come on. Right, if def, and I want C#. There we go. So if there it is, if debug, and you can say that if on the different .NET framework versions, right? So when you're building for this over here, you'll see that in build, there's compilation symbols, but there's also .NET framework symbols that get included, right? So if I do it if, and then there's a .NET framework, and then it'll tell you, it'll actually show you which version of .NET framework is defined. Right, conditional. There it is. So CLR at least 3.5, and there's a series of these out there that you can reference and use, right? And I can dig further into this. I haven't done this in a long time here, but, and you can define, but there are some that are predefined for you. Listed by category. You can go through here and you can find it. But there are different .NET framework versions that are marked and labeled, and you'll get, and then you'll be able to pivot on those versions, right? And then you do something like this down here. Look at that, I broke it, made it angry, right? I could say something like if true, do this, and then I can also do else, or even an else if, and else if false, and then do some other thing here. Return string, right? And then based on the .NET Framework version, it'll compile and give you that in your code, right? And you can see here by the shading, because this block is true, and you pivot on those conditional compilation symbols, this line will be compiled and included in your code. But when it's compiled and built for another version, for .NET Standard, you would want to compile with a different line of code, and then you can write very similar code and reuse it. And then you'll want to bundle those as one unit that you deliver in a NuGet package. Junicus, look at this. Not exactly how to reference SystemNet sockets in PCL. There you go. There's something, Chris, that you can take a look at. It might get you there. Let me see. I think there was another question or two here. Somebody had mentioned something about the NuGet package reference system in CS Proj is really great now. It is. They've taken that CS Proj, that build file format, and they've really modernized it, taking into account new things. And it had been almost an artifact that had gone, I don't want to say untouched, but there hadn't been any innovation in it to keep up with the new things we wanted to do with .NET, like NuGet, for a couple years. I found I need to close restart browsers on my streaming PC. It just competes too hard with what's needed to stream. Absolutely. The browsers grab your GPU and it starts competing with OBS, and it becomes just a nightmare to manage. Let me try to make the sample you're showing, and we can post that as the issue resolution. Terrific. We can put a pull request in and post a sample that shows how to do what we're looking at here. Wintermute, I upgraded my whole team to VS 2017 just so we could use project reference. That's pretty cool. Space Shot definitely jump-started me. I was totally lost as to how to do this. Cool. Glad to hear it. I'm going to go for maybe a half an hour longer here. My daughter is doing some homework here. And when she's done, we're going to, we got to do some Christmas shopping. We got to buy the wife's Christmas present. Don't tell her, okay? All right. It's kind of a clumsy example here, but the key is to reuse your classes as much as possible, and be able to do this if conditional compilation so that it works a little bit. Right, works for you a little bit. So let me. I'm going to close out of this solution. Is she getting a portable class library for Christmas? Dude! No, she's not getting a portable class library for Christmas. That feels bad. Come on now. So I am going to started talking about using PCL and .NET Standard. Add them to the same NuGet package. Pivot for each framework. And if you can put together an easier sample that demonstrates that, we'll put it in the samples here, in a samples folder here, and everybody will be able to see it. So I'm going to mark this as scheduled. I'm not going to close it. I'll leave it out there so we can take a look at it later. Where is Snover when I need him? I'm not going to get into that today. I don't think we need that. Let's address this. My follower goal up there isn't updating automatically as new folks jump in and start following. Let's see. Really appreciate you streaming, Jeff. I'm based remotely, and it's good to hear other coders while I'm coding too. Cool. Glad to hear it, Check Digits. Wintermute. I found an extension to upgrade packages config to project references automatically. Oh, very cool. What's the extension? Post it. Post the name of it there in the Twitch stream, and we'll take a look at it here real quick. While you're doing that, I'm going to open the rundown project. So that's there's my project list not loading. And I want to address my bar up there not loading automatically. So let's do this. Where am I here? Follower goal. There it is. So there's the goal that I'm passing through to, there it is, the Razor page. Now my Razor page isn't updating automatically. Feels bad. I want to get this current value updating automatically. So we've already written some code to do that using jQuery, and it's sitting over here in my count. I'm just gonna steal that code and do the exact same thing again. So this is Marketplace Visual Studio Items. This is Cloud Nimble NuGet Package Reference Upgrader. Alrighty, let's take a look-see at that one. Oh, look at this. Here, let's do this real quick. Our friend and MVP Iris, she wants to do some streaming with us, and on Saturday, I actually live stream everything, so we can get on Skype and work live. Then Saturdays, I stream at 10 a.m. Eastern, just like I am right now. Say hi to everyone on Mixer and Twitch. Smiley face. There you go. Feels good. All right. So I want to automatically update this. I'm gonna come back and look at. Let's look at that real quick. The marketplace. So this was Cloud Nimble. Let's see if we can find that NuGet package reference updater. So this will upgrade Visual Studio 2017 projects to use package references instead of packages config. That's pretty cool. So to make sure everybody's up to speed, what Wintermute is talking about there, in older .NET Framework projects, in fact just .NET Framework projects, you actually had a packages config that listed out all of your NuGet references. Starting with .NET Core 2.0, and actually .NET Core 1.0 later on in the SDKs, so within the last year this has been made available, you can now have these package references directly inside your CS Proj that reference the NuGet package you want, and it will go grab that and automatically merge that into your project for you. Makes it a heck of a lot easier to do, and I encourage you to check it out. So here we go. I want to make sure that my bar up at the top updates. So API followers, document get element by ID count. I don't want to get element by ID count and set the content. I want to get elements by class name. And it's not count, it's current. And we'll reset that every 5 seconds. Easy. Done. Feels good. I got to do more of that. Right? That's how you fix a bug right there, right? We need more of that. I don't want to start it in Docker because it won't have my configuration in it. So I am going to set this one as the startup project. I see I fixed a badly broken project config in Visual Studio at work this way. Oh, that's cool. All right. That's a cool way to fix that. So let's see. I want to get my follower goal, and I should be able to see it updating for me automatically. Followers goal. There it is, and it's really wide. I can shrink that if I wanted to by saying width equals 400, and now it's smaller. Right? That's kind of cool. Let's make it 500, and I should be able to see if I look at my developer tools here, I should be able to see on the network tab that it's getting my followers count every 5 seconds. There it goes. And it sure looks like it's updating properly. Yep, I don't have any errors over here. So I think I fixed that issue pretty quickly here. So I'm going to stop this. And I don't have a command window open? Oh, I don't have a command shell. Give me a command shell. This is Fritz rundown. Git status. Fantastic. All right. CD views, followers. Cool. Git add goal. And that issue that I created because I wanted to fix that was number 5. So I will do a git commit. Let's see. Now refreshing goal every 5 seconds to address number 5. Fantastic. Cool, done. And we should see that updated here. Fantastic. All right. What's the pull? I've got a pull request. Enhanced mixer service. Oh my gosh, I didn't check this out. What do we got here? JBDK. Who is JBDK? Is that someone here in the chat room today? Is that Joe Bunn? Who is this? Use live updates using WebSockets instead of polling. Also includes current viewer count, updated event. Oh my gosh. This looks pretty good. Let's see what we got here. The file's changed. So here's our new mixer service. It's an iHosted service. Constants for the API URL and the I guess that's the WebSocket. Reconnect delay. Okay. Current follower count is going to just return the number of followers. Let's see. All right, those are private integers up here. We're going to take in an iConfiguration, new cancellation token source. Look at that. What do we have here? What happened? What are we doing, Iris asked. Coding? Fun, fun, fun. Yes. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Did Philly.net just go live? No, it shouldn't have gone live. Are you doing something over there, Chris? I don't think so. Let me finish looking at the code here. So we're going to get channel info. What's get channel info? Wow, you wrote a lot of code here. This looks really good. I'm going to go get the mixer channel, get string async, and then specifying the fields. Ah, look at that. That's easier to consume. And then navigating that J object. Look at that. Getting the channel ID, number of followers, number of current viewers. So this was something else I wanted to start addressing, is I want to be able to update the viewer count in the corner, replace that with my own feature. All right, so we have a receive reply task here. Let me see, that's got to be wired up somewhere. So this looks really cool. I like it. So let's see what this looks like. I'm going to merge this and download it and give it a shot. Very cool. I'm going to squash and merge it, though, just to make sure that we get that. Confirm squash and merge. That'll go into my dev branch. Good. Thank you so much for the contribution. This looks like a much better way to work with Mixer. Cool. That was JBDK. JBDK, is that Joe Bun? Who is that? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a look. I'm going to pull that down. Yeah, if I do a git pull, it should just merge. Fantastic. So now let's look at this over here. I'm going to grab that Mixer service. Oh man, this looks so cool. So, let's learn a little bit about what was written in here. Rhinosaurus Rex, thanks for joining us. I recognize that name over there on Mixer. Yeah, it was Joe Bun. Thank you. Very cool. So using client WebSocket, hint, hint, Chris. Gosh, you might be able to pick up and reuse some of this. Let's see here. So when this service is started, it's going to get the channel information. So get the channel information is right down here. So it goes to the channel, gets the number of followers, the current number of viewers when it starts, grabs the channel ID, okay, captures the number of followers and the number of current viewers and puts them in these private variables. Okay. And then it goes and does a connection and waits with keeps a cancellation token here. So it creates a new client WebSocket, sets a request header, and notifies it that it is a bot. Okay. Async and await love. Yes. Lots of async await love here. This is pretty cool. All right. So we're going to try connecting asynchronously to the WebSocket URL, hanging on to our cancellation token there, and await receive a reply. If we do receive a reply, after we receive the reply, send live subscribe, and it's going to do an update. Right? Is that what that's doing there? What is that doing? Just letting it know that I'm not sure what that's doing. And then we're going to receive the reply, receive async. We're going to take the number of results if there are new, I guess. That's really cool. So Mixer Updater. So this is being used up here. All right, so this is what's going to do where I had a timer that was listening. Oh, cool. Thanks for the follow, Ryan. I appreciate that. All right, so this is where, right, we're doing what I had as a timer. So unless cancellation is requested, it's going to go through and just do this each time. I'm guessing you have a task delay somewhere in here. Oh, you don't even have a task delay. You're just listening on the WebSocket. That's pretty cool. So parse event, whatever data comes back. So if there's new followers, there's my interlocked exchange that I was doing before, and it's going to set up that new number of followers. If there's a different number of viewers, it's going to update that. Very cool stuff. Thank you. This is really cool. And working with WebSockets isn't trivial, right? All this asynchronous code that was written, that is awesome stuff. So I am going to, do I want to compile and stick this in there? It is subscribing to the channel. So it's subscribing to listen. It's not actually, right, subscribing and creating like a subscriber user out there, is it? No. All right, let's let me build and run this, and let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it's just subscribing to the events. Okay, that's what I thought. It's not a Mixer subscriber. All right, so let me go over here to, I'm going to go to the followers count, and yep, loads up just fine. So eventually I'm going to bring on Mike Brocky. Brocky, am I pronouncing his name right? I've been calling him Angular Guy whenever I go out to Pittsburgh. But he does a lot of things with Angular CLI, and I want to bring him on, and we'll do some work with making this Angular and subscribe and listen to events to update and get this working. So very cool that I get that loaded. Now I can actually do some stuff with viewers also. I don't have a lot of time to stick around, but I think we need to take that as a new item to build in here. So I'm thrilled with this. Thank you so much. Very cool addition to the project. Current viewers widget. All right. Now I gotta ask. I know a bunch of folks are here. It's kind of off, right? Some folks are out of office. Do Mixer and Twitch get blocked at your place of work? Would it be beneficial if I included YouTube as another target? I can add that additionally. Ryan asks, what is this project? Generates images to overlay on your channel. Yes. So let me recap what this project is, because I think I have a thing. I need to update this. This is, I called it Rundown initially, and it started off as just a way for me to have a checklist of things that I want to cover on the stream, right? And I want to have an admin section where I can go through and actually check these boxes, and then as something that's pinned in the stream, these things will get checked off and roll off, similar to the event list that you see over there on the far corner. And that's pretty cool, but this I don't think is as valuable as I want to be able to replace that bar that's up at the top and the followers count in the corner. And I started using Streamlabs for those. And they're nice. Streamlabs is a great service, nothing against them at all. But I'm an ASP.NET developer. I know how to build web user interface, and that's all that Streamlab is a series of web user interfaces overlaid in OBS. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm replacing these slowly but surely. So what you're seeing on the video right now, the bar and the followers count is actually a sum of both Twitch and Mixer coming from a Docker container running on my production machine here. And actually, I have it running right here on the command line, and it's listening right here. So this is sitting out here running, and it's actually going to clean up itself when it's done. And when I shut down the stream, I'll just close down that application, and it'll delete, and everything will clean up. So that'll be real nice, easy for me to manage this and kind of have a nice toolbox to have that we can overlay on our channel, and we can easily customize, because as .NET developers, I want to be able to customize some of these things. If Streamlabs was open source and I could fork it and change it a little bit, I might do some of that. But I want to do a little bit more hands-on. I think this has a little bit more impact. I think we can all see the fruits of our labor because it gets embedded directly in the stream. While I'm here, I wanted to clean up that goal bar just a little bit, right? So the goal bar that you see up there is at followers, goal, and then whatever the name is that I want to put on the end of this. So let me put a little bit of margin around the outside of these things. So let me go up here. I think if looking at the user interface, I think it's follower bar is the class that I want to put the margin on. No, I already have 2 pixels of padding around these things. So do I need to up that to like 5? That's a little bit better. I think that. Or do I want to go? Do I want to go top and bottom is 2, and then on the sides let's make it 5. That's a little bit better. Let's see if we can push this just a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. I like the way that looks. No, don't save that. So, still want to have our local .NET meetup drag you to Baltimore eventually. Baltimore, sure. That's a quick drive. We can do Baltimore. Drop me a line on Twitter. Let's see if we can set something up. So, absolutely. Baltimore. I actually have some friends in Ocean City, Maryland, that I would love to be able to invite out to an event they can get to a little bit easier. So sure, drop me a line. Let's see if we can make that happen here. I have an open schedule here, beginning of January, a little bit more in February. I have open, and we might be able to make a drive to some of those local events. My CSS game is strong. Where did I learn? No, it's not. My CSS game is pitiful, Zemos. I've copied and pasted from a lot of friends. Some of our friends in chat. I describe the stream here as pair programming with the internet. So we've gotten some help from some of our friends in chat. Yesterday we got some great help from some of the folks building out this follower bar so that it does this cool transition. I love the way that 2 looks, where it's part white and blue and part black and gray. That looks really cool to me. We found a sample out there and we copied it. Pair programming, absolutely. That's what we did. So we got a little bit of help with that, but I've learned mostly from trial and error, and I've been doing CSS for a long time. Internet Explorer 4 is where I first learned CSS. How's that for old? Showing my age. All right, so I've got the follower bar a little bit better cleaned up. We've got this great new mixer service hanging out here. Is there anything else that I want to do here? I love that the viewer count is... We have some of the pieces there already inside of the mixer service. Right, where'd that service go? Here it is. Inside the mixer service we have... Right, let me... shucks. Let me bring up Karnak while I'm here, so you can see what I did there. I remember when IE6 was brand new. Yeah, that was a while ago. Look, that color transition is really tough. It is. The source code is for all this stuff is available. It's out there for you if you'd like to grab it. Go to GitHub, C#Fritz, same as my Twitter, my Twitch, Twitter, and Mixer channels. This is Fritz Rundown, and you can go find inside of it's in the views here. You need to go in the master, in the dev, and you can find all the CSS here under goal. All right, you're welcome to copy and lift as much as you'd like. But where'd it go? The viewer count is here. Current viewer count. I love that, and I want to put that on the Twitch one also, so I can start to build the current viewer count widget in the corner there. So I'm going to go over to the Twitch service, and there's current follower count. Let's see if we can do the same thing here. I got myself a follow. Cool, thank you. Let's wait till you see the celebration when you click that follow button, Zemos, if you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to create that same thing for... There we go, Zemos, thank you. And thank you, Steve. All right. Current viewer count. I wonder what the bosses think of Steve coming up and saying developers. Maybe Maybe I need to find a cool thing with Satya saying something about developers. Maybe I should just email Satya and say, hey, what do you... No, don't email Satya. Bad idea. Current viewer count. Get return current viewer count. All right. Now, see, I love that with Karnak, how it just puts that in the corner there. Don't have to think about that. It's a good thing. So now I can attach some of this. I should be able to attach to my viewers count here with the Twitch lib fellows, the folks that are working on that. When I started writing this, actually, they in their Discord channel, they said, oh my gosh, look, Fritz is talking about our library. And 3 or 4 of them jumped in to chat and helped me out here. And that was really cool of them to do that. So if we need help with this, we might pop into their Discord chat and say, hey, how do we do this? I think we can figure this out. Let me look at the chat room here real quick. Wintermute says Ballmer could have kept Under Armour in business all by himself. Either that or Speed Stick, one of those. I don't know. I know that on the keynote stages, the keynote stages that Microsoft has, those lights are hot. It is very warm up there. So, I having done a number of keynotes myself, not at Microsoft events, but speaking on Microsoft stages and having been on the keynote stages, I can tell you that I myself have had a perspiration issue for just a little bit of time that I've been on those stages. And if I was stressed, oh boy, yeah, I can completely understand. So I completely empathize with Mr. Ballmer there. Let me see here. Karos, could you recommend a way to learn ASP.NET? I've done a course from Pluralsight, but still I'm getting lost and don't know if I am doing things correctly. Let me pivot here for 1 second from our Twitch code because I want to make sure that Karos sees I have, if you're talking about ASP.NET Core, here I'm going to bring this up again, Microsoft Virtual Academy. There is a series of free courses here that you can go to, and you can learn all about ASP.NET Core that are written by and presented by yours truly. So there's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. The beginner one is my friend, my supervisor here, Scott Hanselman, and my friend Maria Nagaga. The intermediate is Scott, myself, Maria, and John Galloway, and then the advanced is John and myself. Check those out. They're all completely free for you to watch, and it helps me, it reflects nicely on me that there's views for these things. But if you watch those, if you have any questions, Karos, about anything in ASP.NET, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm doing these live streams. I want you to ask questions about ASP.NET Core or ASP.NET. Feel free to drop them in the chat room, and I will answer your questions here live on stream. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The wife's asking me to watch my time here. I want to see if I can get this viewer count on the Twitch stream. So go ahead and drop them out there. Spaceshot says the course is pretty new. Google this MVA. Yeah, there you go. I was just pointing that out right here. So this is MVA, Microsoft.com. Also, Pro ASP.NET Core MVC2 is great too. You know what's really great? If you really... Yeah, there you go. If you really want to learn ASP.NET Core, you want to learn it in 24 hours. I'm just saying. If you want to learn ASP.NET Core and you want to learn it quick, go check out this knucklehead and his book. It'll be published and available next week, and I might have a couple free copies that I can bring to some user groups to give away here in the coming month. Just saying. It's a nice book, and you can get it on Kindle too. So check that out. All right, enough self-promotion. Let me get that viewer count. So let's see, current viewer count. So this is get all followers async. Is there a viewers? V5 get I don't see viewers. Get channel followers, get channel subscribers. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Karos, thanks for the follow. There you go, Steve. Yes, developers. Let's see if we can go back to that Twitch lib. And that was Swifty Spiffy, and Swifty Spiffy does follow us over here. I know there's a way to get viewers. Docs, here we go. Search viewers. Viewers. Not game streams. I want clients. These are ARGs. On hosting started, on hosting stopped. V3, community game streams, stream viewers. Twitch lib. All right, so it looks like we're going to have to get the stream, and we'll be able to get the viewers. Okay, so we get all followers. So is it something like get channel? Oh, get channel by ID. We have the channel ID. The channel ID is where's the channel ID? That's the channel. Oh, wait a sec. Wait a sec. What's service? Right, I'm looking there on line 47. Service. Scott Hansman has done so much for my developer education throughout my career. It's insane. Very cool, Wintermute. I gotta say, he did a little bit for mine as well. And now I get to work for the guy. And the first time I got a phone call from him, it's like, what the heck is he doing calling me? But it's a thing, we're all just people. But I will make sure to relay that to him. So let me see. Start service, stop service. Well, I'm already. No. Right. So that's the follower service. Is there a viewer service? Right. Follower service is going to allow me to watch that. When I was first learning web forms, it was a big deal, and. What are you building, Jeff? So Raventhorn is asking, what am I building? So, gosh, I need to put a Nightbot thing in here so you can ask what I'm building and have Nightbot answer that. Quickly, because I want to get this in. This is something called Rundown that I've been working on, built in C# with ASP.NET Core, that provides some handy tools for managing a video stream. And what it does is it connects to both Twitch and Mixer, the two services that I use, and allows me to get some information to help build some of the widgets you see here on screen, because I want to get combined numbers between the two services. So this is something that I think is it should be pretty simple to do. I'm a web developer. I should be able to make this work. So that's what I'm trying to do, is try and put together, and in this project, I want to get, what I'm working on right now is, I want to get the number of viewers from Twitch, the current number of viewers from Twitch, so that I can echo that out here. LNG Grinds, got to build your own Nightbot first. My friend Dave Voiles actually has a blog post or two about how to write a bot using Azure and Lewis, the language service. So I'm going to get Dave on, and we're going to write our own Nightbot to go into this project so that it can connect to both services and be able to manage that. So it's coming. Oh, it's coming. So how do I get my stream here? I want to figure out how to get my stream. So I've got my API. How do I... API streams. All right. No... Get featured stream, get broadcaster online. No. How do I get my viewer count? Because it's clearly, right, it's right there. And I also want to be able to subscribe to, there goes Karnak. I also want to be able to subscribe to when that viewer count changes. var viewers equals stream.viewers. Yes. How do I get my stream? Right? Because I want to get... How do I... right? Can I say v5 dot, not channel, I want to get this, right? So this is the service up here. I want to get, can I say streams dot, what's Helix? v5, Jobun44 got that covered as well in a message above, it looks like. Var stream equals await, Twitch lib, Twitch API streams, v5, get streamed by users. All right, so here we go. Thank you. Get streams by user async. Okay. And then I can pass in my channel ID, and my channel ID is this. And I could really pull that out into a property. Get streamed by user async. All right. And that's my stream. So let's call that stream. And that's an async, so we're going to want to await that. So then we can say var viewers equals stream.viewers. Do that before you forget to do it. Do what before I... Oh boy. What am I forgetting to do? Wait. What's that? Live stream monitor. Create a var. Yes. I want to move these into properties so that's a little bit easier to do. I don't want a local, I want a property. Ugh. Public string client. I don't want it to be public. Private. Get return that. So it's in one place. All right. So now I can just say client ID. Do the same thing with the channel. String channel. Come here. This. That. Let me change that to private. There we go. So now I can replace this one with channel. All right. So now I've got the stream. So now, right? So where was it? Jobun was saying var stream equals await. I've got that. Var viewers equals stream dot viewers. And then I'm gonna have to set up a similar polling, right, to do that. Oh, wait a sec. I'm still awaiting to get this stream. Stream.stream. Why do I have to say that? That feels weird. Why use private properly over a private var? Isn't channel ID a number? User ID is a number. Right? This is asking for... Oh, it is asking... Well, channel ID. All right, so that's the user ID. All right, so let's put that out there. And then the other question we have there from Raventhorn is, why use a private property over a private var? You mean a private field. I'm okay, let's do that. We'll do that instead. Sure. Oh, well, there... I have to wait to initialize this, right? If I make it a field, it's being initialized right off of as soon as this is created. So by doing it this way, yeah, it's going to grab it each time, but I've got it isolated and in one place. And I'm missing an extra that. So I need that channel ID, so that's going to be this thing. Let's do that. And I'm going to create... No. Ugh. Private string channel ID. Get. Return. There it is. All right. So you're right. This is going to need to be a channel ID. So that's my viewers. I think properties fields are a preference. .NET devs have had properties forever, so I think it feels right. I'm I could assign these fields in the constructor. Definitely possible. Is it going to create more calls to the object versus a single call and cache? You're right, it'll be a single call and cache. However, configuration is already in memory, and it's not going away. It's actually being stored off to the side right here. So what if there's multiple calls into that in-memory dictionary? I'm okay with that. Thoughts on ReSharper? ReSharper is a nice add-in from our friends at JetBrains. I've used ReSharper for many, many years. However, ReSharper uses a ton of memory and will negatively impact your Visual Studio experience. So a number of the things that you're seeing here are refactorings and capabilities that are being added to Visual Studio that don't use as much memory, and I think are pretty good resources to use. In this implementation, yes, but I could cache and assign them to a backing field, yes. And then I didn't know about that configuration being pretty fast and already in memory. Yeah, right? So configuration is just a dictionary, and it's sitting out here. So it's just a string lookup against that dictionary. No big deal. So let me put that number of viewers in my current viewer count. Not current followers. Current viewer count equals that. Now, do I want to set up that timer to go and do this? I know the TwitchLib folks. I mean, they don't have a viewers service like they do a followers service, right? Where is it? Where's that service here, right? Because I'm using this follower service, and follower service is its own thing. Where is it? Follower service. It's under TwitchLib services. So follower service, live stream monitor, customizing and subscribing to detection of channels going online, offline. But the follower service, right, tells me, ooh, channel data. Wait a sec. It's a string. On new followers. What's in that channel data? Jeff, you know what is weird in your chat? I'm replying to Space Shot, but your chat makes it look like a comment. It is? What did Mixer do? I don't know. Joe Bun had the viewer count, didn't he? Yes, so I do have the viewer count. I'm looking to see if there's a way that I can simplify that. See if I can make that without having to do a timer, right? And hit that thing. I think I'm going to do this with the timer just to make things easier again. Just because the API isn't there, and we can ask our friends in TwitchLib to take a look at that. So let me do a timer equals new timer. Yep. And this will be update viewers. Okay. State. I'm not going to pass any object. Due time. So amount of time to delay before 0, and then we'll do this every 5 seconds. So let's create that field. It's not a read-only field. That widget may not fully understand Mixer chat. On Mixer, putting a username highlights it for me. You can also whisper with a /w. Yeah, that's the integrated chat from where's it called? From Restream.io. I thought I just created a timer up here. Where'd it go? Didn't I just create timer? Generate variable timer. Generate field timer. It's right there. Oh, look at that. It created timer callback update viewers. Where's that? Here. No, I don't want that. come here. Generate field, Twitch service, timer. Yes, do that. There it is. That's fine. All right. So now I should be able to do this and say generate method. There we go. All right, now I want to put... Do I need to get the stream each time? Yeah, why not? Why not? And we'll just put that here. And... oh, shoot. Ah, shoot. Now let me save the stream off. Let's hang on to that. So that I don't have to deal with this. So let me put this into a local field. Cool. So now I should be able to say stream viewers. Let's put that into a local count. Just call it count. And then I will do interlocked exchange. Okay. Current viewer count with my count. Done. And now we should have viewer counts for Twitch coming in now. Let's see that widget. Let's see, Tharina. You can utilize the goto VS keybinds to go to members. Yes, I can do a control comma, and I can type in things like channel ID, and it'll go right to that. Absolutely. My head is in the way. My bad. Sorry about that. In fact, let me just open this. See that? Now my head's in Solution Explorer. Let's see. Presenters always move the code up the screen for those people in the back, right? Yeah, I should. All right, so I think I have that viewer stuff now. Let me go. I'm going to create a controller for viewers. So let's create a new controller. MVC controller empty, sure. And we will call this viewers controller. I have a very nice head. Ugh. Okay. Thanks, I think. All right, so let's create, we'll just call this current. And view, and oh gosh, we're going to need a constructor here. So I'm going to use the constructor snippet, and I want to receive both the Twitch service and the Mixer service. Yep, there's my using statements. This dot Twitch equals Twitch. This dot Mixer equals Mixer. Got those. I've got my head right in the code. Way to be in the zone. Don't forget to keep an eye on the time. Oh my gosh. You aren't kidding. Let me just finish creating these. I'm going to create these as read-only properties. Done. And I'm just going to return Twitch.current. Should be current viewer count. Raventhorn, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. And I'm going to add current viewer count to this one also. So now I'm going to return a view called current that has those two in it. And I could add a folder over here. There it is. Viewers. So that lines up, that matches. And I could create a view over here. Add view. Current. Empty. Do not use a layout page. I will give you a follow on Twitch too, but I don't want to tempt myself to watch some PUBG. Actually, I watch a lot of Hearthstone over on Twitch. All right, so my model is an int right now over here. Current viewers, and I'm just going to say total viewers at model. And now that should show me this when I run this. Let's see if I get that. There's a lot of PUBG on Mixer. I've heard. I've seen a little bit. Object reference not equal to an instance of the object. Ah, you know what? Because stream hasn't been built yet because this await hasn't finished. Oh, because I did the timer. This is out of order here. Let's fix that. I'm gonna just do an alt down there, and it moves that down. Either PUBG or Fallout. Fallout. All right, let's see if that starting. Good. Go over to my browser. That looks like it's running. So I'm gonna go to viewers count. I got nothing. What is a family-friendly version of a drinking game? Instead of model, what did I do here? What's Jobun pointing out? Instead of at model, because whatever it is, every time there's a null reference exception, we should all have to do it. Why am I not getting my viewer count here? So current model int. Oh, I did the wrong model. Thank you. Still not picking that up. It's killing his comment. He's saying at model instead of at model. Autocorrection. Don't forget. Yeah, I gotta. All right. I just want to get this to appear. Right. If I go back over to my. Where'd my viewers controller go? Viewers controller. Current. Right. Oh, my bad. Current. There it is. Fantastic. We got it working. So I am going to wrap up there. We got it working. And I can see all those numbers. We'll fix that up and make it look cool next time. So I am going to clean up and save where I am. Here we are. Let's do a, where is it? Get status. So here's my new things, my viewers controller and my new viewers view. So let's add those. Yeah. Oh, thing backwards. There it is. Git add views viewers. And let's commit. Added current viewers data collection. Push that. And now we're collecting viewers. Fantastic. This is HTML, right? Yes, I am outputting HTML from my Razor. The @ sign has a meaning on Mixer, apparently. Works like this. Don't know what happens on Twitch. All right, so I've got everything pushed up into my project. And in my dev branch now, we can take a look and we'll be able to start working with viewers. I'm not going to worry about building a new instance of the Docker image just yet. And I think we're in great shape. I think this does what I want it to do. But we'll work on building that image next time. That'll be Saturday morning is the next time I'm going to be streaming here. So everything's saved off. We'll push that image out. Yeah, we'll do some other cool things. Formatting and getting this up and running then. Thanks everybody for joining me here this morning. I really appreciate it. An instance recording of today's video will be saved off to YouTube, and I'll have a wrap-up blog post a little bit later today. Keep an eye on Twitter for an announcement when that gets posted, or you can subscribe to YouTube if you want to see that when it gets posted. Yes, I got to take my daughter shopping for the wife. My Twitter account and the blog are right up at the top. I hope you check them out. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.